Now, I believe during your direct testimony, you mentioned there's not much leakage from the Kincaid Pond or any of the other ponds in the permit area. Is that correct?
From what I've observed, I did not observe much leakage, if any at all.
Okay. But I think you also stated that there is considerable leakage from lateral 20.
That's correct.
How come the lateral has significant leakage, but the ponds in the same area do not?
Just based on the materials they are located. From my understanding of the geology of the area, the lateral is in mostly fairly unconsolidated, non-cemented, permeable sediments.
The study area, water stations have not been sampled during the storm event. Therefore, baseline stormwater quality data are not available. Is there any reason why that wasn't done over the past 20 years?
Yes, there's a variety of reasons. Obviously, when storms do come in this area, they can come fairly quickly due to the nature of the soils and the nature of the watershed. That peak discharge happens fairly quickly, so timing and getting down there to sample a storm event can be difficult. And there's also the danger of sampling during a storm event. So that has been what is some of the factors that precludes sampling during a storm event. We do have samples from a variety of flow conditions, so I think we do capture some of the variation in seasonality of flow. We do not have storm event.
Wouldn't it have been useful to have a baseline monitoring of a stormwater event or several?
I think it could be helpful, but I don't think it's necessarily necessary.
Do you know if there was any conscious decision made to not monitor stormwater events?
Not of my knowledge, no. I wouldn't expect it or suspect it.
Okay, so as far as you've been able to locate here, you don't have any more recent flow data than 1992 and 1993 in the application?
In the application, it doesn't appear to be up there.
You have taken that. Has flow data been measured more recently?
Flow
1993?
Flow data has been measured more recently.
Okay, but
As recently as last week.
Okay, but it just hasn't shown up in the application.
It has not.
As far as downstream effects on Elm Creek of flood events, have you actually walked down Elm Creek downstream of the urban area towards the river? See what's down there, or driven it as far as possible?
Well, I don't think you can really drive. I haven't been downstream right from 1588 due to access agreements. I have been on Elm Creek from 277 upstream, approximately a mile or two long. I've gone up the creek.
Okay. Are you aware of a residential area known as Elm Creek subdivision? It's right on Elm Creek, very close to where it crosses 277.
I don't know the names of specific subdivisions, but I do know there's houses along there.
Okay. Have you done any calculations as to how high the water level would rise within the permit area during a 10-year, 24-hour rain event?
I have not.
Was there any reason why that wasn't done?
Just generally, it's not required by the as part of the application.